Welcome to another episode of an after show for Shades of Blue. Bianchi is going crazy. We're going to talk about it coming up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's when you need to go to sleep. I had to get up with this morning, right? I really am. Like, let's say, first of all, much love always to Biggie B.I.G. and just reminiscing and over his music, the landmark he left on hip hop and just his 20-year anniversary. It just really seems 20 years. It makes me feel old because I was so young when it did happen. You hear about it and you're memorized by everything that took place within the hip hop community and just in the world. But this is my song forever. And I think it goes perfect with the show.
Right with the show, it does.
So much be going on in the episode.
Definitely. We're definitely going to get into that. Hey guys, I'm Lynneisha. You guys can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33. And
you can follow me. Let's back up. Hi everyone, I'm Taquiala Jackson, and you can follow me on all things social at Taquiala_I am.
All right, yeah. So like we said, this song really goes with this episode.
It does, right?
Yeah, especially and with a few of the characters throughout the episode, not just Bianchi, but I kind of want to talk about him too. Actually, you know what? No, I want to start off with our crazy boy.
Yeah.
Our
Thank
weirdo.
you. Because instead of saying what's beef, it opened up with what's obsession.
Yeah.
And I love the way the writers put it out. He said, is it infatuation? Is it lust? Is it delusion? Something or someone that consumes us.
Right.
And for him, he said it's a relentless occupation of his mind.
Right.
And you can see that through everything that he does. Every motive that he has, you see it's just that relentless, I got to get it, I got to do it, I got to prove it. So I thought that was
no
amazing.
Matter what, and dedicated to it.
Yes, very much so.
As soon as he said that, I was like, that is exactly right, Stahl. That's exactly how you would think. That was the perfect answer for him.
Right.
To say it is an occupation.
It is.
Because like day in and day out, he commits to what he's doing.
And in committing, I think too, that goes back to where, once we get towards the end, and we'll talk about it in a second, but he was at the 12 steps with Caddy, who was the assistant with Harlee. But he says when they're in Caddy's office, he's trying to open him that bag of whatever it was. He was like, no, I think we need to flush it or whatever. And he was like, well, his name for the AA meeting was Sam. So I'm like, how many different names you can come up with? You're going to come up with William
Sam,
as the
Mr.
investigator
William.
to investigate Miguel's murder or disappearance, and then you're Miguel when you talk to Christina, and now you're Sam because of AA meaning. Like, how many different? That's what I was wondering. I was lost. That's why I had to write it all
when
down.
I'm supposed to be Sam. Like, I just don't understand.
I'm
how do
sorry.
you keep up? But with that, also when it was starting out at first, I was like, okay, good. You're seeking help. Like, I thought it was a good thing.
I really did
but
too.
Then they panned out. He went to sit down and he was sitting by Caddy. I was like, oh, I should have known better.
Yeah,
I should have known he was up to something because he's just always up to something.
And I thought at first I was like, okay, how's he about to manipulate Caddy and put that in there? I'm sure we'll see that within the next episode or two. But I really felt just a little disheartened. Like, okay, he's really not trying to get a grip of, because he really is obsessed with Harlee. That leads him to do everything like he wants. Like we see at the end of the show when he tells Wise if he wanted to disrupt his whole life, he would
could,
do it now. But I think because of that pull, still Harlee again, and like Wise said, you disrupted our relationship. That still kind of tugged at him. So I don't think it's anything that he's going to try to deal with until he gets Harlee, if we ever get to that point.
Yeah. Which he won't. So
I don't think so.
He won't.
I want James and Harlee back.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we have to get into that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Okay. We got to wait on that one. But yeah. And also just with Stahl, like he's just so tempting, and he knows people's vices, or he knows their soft spot, their Achilles heel, and he goes right for it. So he has that coke, and he's like showing, like you said, he should have flushed it. But he left it there. Yeah. Knowing, and I think that is how he's gonna later on get to Caddy, is because he's gonna do the drugs. He's probably weak.
And that's what I was thinking too. And I felt so bad for thinking, and I'm just like, no, just flush it, because he don't know what's gonna come back to him.
Right.
We kind of assume Stahl's gonna do something,
Yeah.
But I'm like, just flush it, please.
He's not gonna flush it.
I don't think so either. Sorry, we tried, Caddy, to have your best interest in heart, but it just doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Not at all. What were you feeling when they cut to now we're in looking at Harlee and Waz, and they're driving like through the forest, and she's like, oh, nothing good happens in the forest after midnight. What were you thinking was about to happen in that moment?
I didn't know. I thought they were just going somewhere to with each other, the plot, how to take down Bianchi, or the plot, what's going on, if they should tell the rest of the crew, because, you know, the heat from Verco, and he's in Loman's mind already.
Oh, yeah.
We see when I'm sure we'll talk to him in a minute, he's in Tufo. So I thought they were trying to come together to grips on how much information to tell the rest of the crew, especially when they walked into the office and Tess was like, looks like y'all are working on something. Are you ever going to let me in? And Waz was like, not yet. So I thought they were going to try to plan for something like that. But when I seen they met up with Bianchi, I was like, oh, it's about to be a war.
I was like, it's about to go down.
Yes.
But and like he said, like he's like, I'm not gonna stop, because he wants to know like why Harlee and who she was with Carlos at the time, right? With Espada, why they popped his spot up. You know what I mean? Like, why'd you come here? You know, we're doing money laundering, but no one knows. I'm supposed to be safe, right? You know, I'm with Julia, and nobody should come here. You know what I mean? So it's like, someone told you to come if you did come. You know what I mean? Because I have protection. So who told you to come? And they're thinking like it's just a trade-off. Like, give me my gun back. We got your money. Right, we got your money. We'll leave your business alone. We'll let you find some other place to do your business.
Right.
So, you know, it'll be cool. That's not enough for him.
No, and I thought it was going to be at first, because it looked like he was contemplating it. And then I think Wise stuck the knife in him, where he tried to just take his control a little bit over Bianchi's, and Bianchi gave him the money back, was like, no, deal's off. It'll be another body. I'm like, darn.
Yeah, and he said it so like...
He did. Ruthlessly, recklessly. I don't care. It'll be another body.
I was like, oh, okay.
But I'm interested to see how that's going to play out now, because they did get his Vincent Rossi, the person who had Harlee's gun and was doing the hits for Bianchi. So I'm interested to see who the next person will be, or if he will get Julia to get into predictions a little early, but if he will get Julia to get Vincent Rossi out of jail. So that's what I'm looking into seeing too.
Possibly.
Yeah. I didn't mean to spill that prediction too early, but talking anyways.
Right. Go wherever we're gonna go. But no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, but with that, with Bianchi and the guy
Vincent.
Yeah, with Vincent. So, you know, they catch him and everything, where they're going to the house. Like, he was really slick, because they almost, like, Tess almost got. She almost walked into the line with the booby trap.
Yes.
You know, Harlee caught it, like, whoa, that would have taken her, like, out, you know? So I think he was kind of expecting them to possibly maybe at some point pop up and trying to protect himself. But the fact that I wish we kind of knew exactly the address, because, you know, Harlee found the address book, and then the addresses were kind of in code. Right. So we don't know who else was on the list, but he had a list. He did. Know? He had Caroline's address. He had, you know, then he had James. He had Novel's, you know, work information, his address and everything.
Work and everything, yes.
So it's like, who else is on that list, I wonder?
Very true.
Yeah. I think
if they go through to it, she'll be able to stop it before it happens, like she did with James, excuse me. Yeah. So that's a good question.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, jumping ahead, because Bianchi met Linda, he met Waz's wife at the bookstore.
Yes.
So yeah, he probably has Harlee's address. He probably have everything. Everyone in that team, like someone who is close to them, he has that information.
And I was scared for Linda, and I hope she tells. I wanted her to stop right there, call Wise back, and be like, "Look, this guy just creeped me out. Check up on him. This is what he looked like. Gave him a description and everything like that." Because I don't want her to tell him too late, where Wise can't get to Bianchi before it's too late. True. And if he comes after Linda, Wise is gonna dismantle. Period. He's gonna absolutely lose his mind. Yeah, all hell's gonna break loose. I need to. I need to see what. Hopefully, Linda will tell him, even though the emotional conversation they had, and you know, kind of left. She looked at first like she was really sad, and like she might either go home or call him more often just to, you know, talk to him and fill out everything. But then Bianchi shows up and just rattled her really quickly, and she just got annoyed. So I need her to tell Wise, though, ASAP.
I hope she does. I mean, you know, she's been with him a long time. She knows the kind of business he's in. Right. And like she said, she never asked any questions, but she knows he's not on the straight and narrow. Definitely. So I believe she will tell him. Hopefully, and for her sake, he shook her a little bit. Yes. So I do think she's going to tell him in time. But let's talk about this internal affairs guy. Let's talk about Verco.
Okay.
Because he's another. I won't say he's not weird, but he is just he's doing his job.
Yeah, but he's annoying me. Just how he has to do it, because I guess you have to kind of pick and play what side you want to choose and be on to get information, or to at least just plant a seed in someone's head, which he's doing very well with Loman and now with Tufo, and I think more so with Tufo because Waz hit him and they got into that fight. Yeah, that broke my heart for them, and it broke I think just the level of trust that Waz and Tufo now have. But that man is annoying to me, because I don't like beating around the bush. Just get to the point.
right?
point.
But it's like he said, it's kind of his way, so he can kind of dig and get in a little bit deeper, and he can't. I mean, they already know what he's there for, but he can't be too forward with his plans and what he's trying to do. But I was surprised by him. So he went, so Tufo has his brother who had a parole hearing. Mm-hmm. He went to the hearing, and then he walks out, and we see Verko there. And he goes in, he makes a smart comment, a remark, and kind of smiles at him. So I really, in that moment, I thought he was going to do something bad. Yeah. To kind of then really have, Tufo in his back pocket to want mercy and want to try to do better. And, so kind of have him at his knees. But then he was the opposite. And he must have said something good to the judge to kind of get his brother out. So in a sense, it's now like you owe me kind of. Exactly. But then like Tofo said, I don't really owe you. I didn't ask you for that. So I'm not going to owe you for it.
But that's a really fine line, too, because he wants his brother out, and he already took just possession over his brother and his actions or whatever he do, told him he wouldn't land back in jail. Yeah. So it's all his responsibility and shoulders now. So Verko could use that as leverage.
He could. That's
and I think it's going to dangle that in front of his face just a little too much. And you know what? He
actually could, have taken him out, like you said, and just to kind of mess with him. So kind of get the brother out of jail, but then turn around and put the brother in bad positions.
Exactly.
To where he may have to go back. Yeah. And then it would be like Tufo would have to step up no, okay, whatever. Don't do that to my brother. Save him. Okay, fine, I'll do what you want me to do. You know what I mean? So
we'll see.
Yeah, I just thought about that in this moment. I was like, dang, okay, well, Verko isn't so bad. You know what I mean? But now that I think about it, it's like, no, everyone has something up their sleeve.
Under the stall for me. Just a little under yes.
Listen, stall takes the cake.
I am happy, though. My last week's prediction or just comment is I wanted to see a little bit more of Tufo, a little bit more different side of him and everything like that. So I'm glad I got a piece of that. Exactly. I'm glad I got a piece of that this episode. Mm-hmm. I was happy to see him just come to the forefront. And I guess they're going person by person because it was Tess two seasons ago. I'm not 2 seasons. 2 episodes ago was Tess. Now we had Tufo kind of to the forefront, so hopefully we get to see some more of his spot later. But I was kind of happy about that. I like to see him in the forefront. Yeah.
But like you said, the fight with him and Waz, though, that was kind of heartbreaking. And it's funny because I wrote down, I'm just going to skip ahead and go right wherever. But I wrote down he's blindly loyal to him, And like he said, he was like, I walked through fire for you. And I don't question it. I don't look back, nothing, And then throughout the episode, things start to unravel. They find things out. We'll get there. Right. But then the clip kind of for next week, it's he mentions that I'm blindly following this man. Yes. And I was like, yes.
And he's not doing it no more.
Yeah. He's kind of tired.
That's the part that hurt me because then you see how Waz is letting it all get to him. And I thought him and Harlee were going to be the 2 strong ones because they actually know what's going on. They kind of keep just reining in everyone, not giving them all the information, but just letting them know. And I kind of felt like that was going to hurt or be to their detriment, at least at some point in the season. But I just, once Waz hit Tufo, I was just like, ugh. There goes the relationship.
Yeah,
there
and
goes.
I feel like he's paranoid now. Well, Waz is paranoid now because of everything he's gone through with Harlee now. You know what I mean? So it's I trust you, but I don't trust you. I trust you as far as I can throw you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So his paranoia got to him, you know, and made him fight him, like I said.
And he has it from so many angles. He has it from Stahl. He's still trying to help Harlee. He has it from Verko now. IA just sneaking around trying to figure out anything. And then once he spills the coffee on him to get phone or just information on him from his jacket, we see there's a new number, and it's to FBI. But it's not Stahl, so who else is it?
Right.
So then that's another thing that's going to be over his head, stressing, trying to figure out where it's coming from. Exactly.
And who in the FBI now.
Exactly.
If it's not Stahl. Yes. And I believe Stahl because he did confront Stahl about that.
Right.
And I believe him.
I do too.
It's it's not me. Like you said, like we mentioned earlier, I can end you. I can, you know what I mean?
Right.
End your whole team, right now if I wanted to. But I'm not doing it. So clearly it's not me. You know what I mean? So he's like, well, someone in your team is trying to bury your case, mine, everything.
And that's again, back to a prediction I did last episode. I feel like, I said I thought it was Verko and Stahl that were teaming up trying to get the information one-on-one with each other. But I hopefully believe in all these predictions so early. I'm sorry.
Right. But it's like the way the show is going.
Is, so. Yes, I just got to put it all out there. I'll save one for later, I promise. But we have Verko, and it is someone from the FBI now. We don't know who that is. Right. I don't know who that is yet, but it's not Stahl. So I'm still interested to see how that will, because if Stahl's trying to cover up his own, but also get information from the team, and there's someone else over here in the FBI working that same angle, how are they going to butt heads later on, you know? Right. So I'm interested in that.
What about a girl that I forget her name, but Stahl's partner earlier on? And then they kind of fell out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, ooh.
I wonder
if she will make an appearance back. That's
or if like
good question.
You know, Virgo could be talking to her,
right? Because maybe he will want information on Stahl too, because Stahl's kind of entangled in all of what goes on in that office.
Yeah, and then she might be upset too because Stahl kind of played her last time. You know, like she slept with me and stuff like that. Right. You know what I mean? So it could be.
Look at that. Predictions real early, but we'll get to it.
Next episode we'll be like, told y'all.
Right.
What else do we have? So I don't know why I do that sometimes when I'm thinking. I like sing, like singing.
Bring it back to you. You're good.
I don't know. So yes, now we can talk about. I was going to say Jennifer and James.
It happens.
No, about Harlee and Nova. So no, I can't never say his name. But yeah, so I'm happy about the fact that he still cares about her.
Yes.
You know, and I want to say big ups to Harlee because she's a woman and she's grown about hers. Because when they went to the morgue for the body of Caroline and they found out that there was semen in her, I would have gone off when I saw him. Yeah. Like, I probably wouldn't have given him the benefit of the doubt. I just was like, oh, yeah? So you just going to sleep with a girl right after? You know what I mean?
Snap, quick,
like,
right?
Quick. No explanations, no putting, like, trying to figure it out. Like, I don't care if there's a case going on or not. Like, what?
What happened? And I just left 2 minutes later?
Exactly.
Like, what happened? I got you.
I'm giving all of this.
Too.
Right. But I appreciate her for, you know, taking a step back, taking herself out of it because it is so bigger than just her and him. So taking herself out of it and then talking to him to figure it out, you know, and then like he said, and then she has a new boo. Caroline had a new boo. Right. You know, so okay, it wasn't him, it wasn't James.
But I was a little nervous for her at first too. I didn't know how she was going to handle it. I'm glad she went the route she did because it wasn't him, and he knows, and she knows he still has feelings for her. Yeah. But when she told her, you know, I kicked her out. I told her it was somebody else. It was you that I wanted.
I chose
and I'm like,
you.
yes. And then he was like, at least I did. And I was like, oh, he took the rug too quick. He was like, I chose you. I wanted you. I wanted to be with you. Or at least I did. And I was like, ugh. So I thought there was still a little bit of hope. It is.
Because then he grabbed her hand.
He did. And there's still a little bit of hope.
She, you know, was just, you know, talking about everything that's going on. And so now they're putting the pieces together. Because she did tell him, like, okay, well, this is Bianchi's guy, you know, and he had prosecuted him before. So he's thinking like, oh, okay, well, he may be after me, so he also may be after you. I want to protect you. I want to make sure you're safe. And he's like, I think I signed up for that. I was like, oh, are y'all going to get back together?
I was hopeful.
He said, I think I signed up for that. And he said forever. Yes. So I think they may get back. They're going to get back together. And then he grabbed her hand in that moment.
I hope so. I think just once everything that dies down with Caroline and the emotions aren't so high after that, I think they'll be able to level out everything else.
And I think it was also like a damsel in distress in reverse.
Oh,
you know,
very much so.
Yeah, she saved him.
She did.
You know, he was. Yeah, that guy was about to pop him.
Yeah, very at his job. At the courthouse. That's really bold.
Like, can't wait to no worry
about.
No?
Not at all.
But yeah, so I'm hopeful. I do think that there's hope there, and they'll get back together.
Same here.
But speaking of, so while she's saving him from, I'm bad with names. I should really write them down. From Vincent.
Yes.
Yeah, Harlee she's another crazy one, but I love her.
Are you going
crazy.
where I think you're going?
Listen, I thought she killed him at first. I was like, okay, they kind of cut away, but at the same time they made the noise.
Exactly.
So, and even like when they had the scene, they walked in the police station. I still thought he was dead. It was like, oh, that's Vincent. Oh,
that's the same guy. She just had his head dangling over the train tracks.
And we looked at each other like, is she was holding him right there. She probably lifted him like just right before that train came. But like, that girl is tough.
She really is. Like we said, as her actions, she follows through with them. So that's why I didn't want to see it on TV, but I wasn't gonna be surprised if she like, oh well, I got him. And I felt like I felt really bad. Give me 1 second. Let me find out where Wise told her. You know, when she brought him in, and Wise was like, I didn't know arresting someone was on the list for today. And she was like, yeah, sorry. He didn't see, that she brought him in rather than trying to take him out. And Wise made a comment about
like a dark alley or something.
Yes, he would have been in a dark alley. Oh, there we go. Yeah, dark corner. It would have been better if you had him in a dark corner with a bullet in the head. And I kind of was like, yes, I feel really bad admitting that. But I was like, that's what you really should have done. Because I think, again, it goes back to so many angles. Bianchi is under Julia. Julia has power over Wise still. And I think that's going to make him get out. And so last episode, she still had 8 bullets left in her gun. She got the gun back, though. Yeah. But we don't know what Bianchi's up to. He's ruthless.
It doesn't.
It's
ruthless. It's like her gun's not the only gun in the world. At all. So it was just better, and you can really get to someone like, I'm killing your people and with your gun. You know what I mean? That's just like stabbing someone and then twisting it, like.
So that's why I was like, he should have been in a dark alley with a bullet in his head, and I'm sorry to say that like that, but yes.
But no, I mean, he was going after her love, and he was going to keep coming after people. Like I said, he had that address book, so who knows if she didn't catch him, who else he would have tried to go after. Who would have been
next? And it would just been like just running behind, trying to figure out before he got to that next person or not, trying to figure out who was going to be next. So that's very true.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Because we talked about the FBI and was talking to Saul.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing.
I was just going to jump to Waz and Linda.
Oh.
When he called her. I just called.
to say I love you. Yeah.
I was like, that was so sweet. And he was just like, oh, well, he called like several times. Right. And then she finally, okay, let me pick up and answer. But, just reminiscing with her, and then it's like, okay, I love you. That's it. Like.
And I was waiting to see what he was going to do when Harlee said, she's not the one that needs to be talking.
Right.
Put it out there. Not to say you, but she just left it at that. And I see, like he said, he remembers that they're a family. And it's not him against everyone else. It's them against everyone else. Exactly. And I think he did lose sight of that for a while. And I think not only with his wife and his son, Nate, but also with the department, his people.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we see them at the freezer later on in the episode. But I think that opened up her heart just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she remembers that Waz. That's probably the person who she fell in love with. And before he got into deep, whatever that deep was, they were really good off. And Harlee made a statement to that she has to believe that there's a path back. So that made me want to know back to where, like, where were you before then? And I think that might go back to when Julia might have been the lieutenant and they were all under her.
Possibly,
so hopefully we get to see some of that too, because that back must have been their normal before they started doing money laundering and all of that other stuff.
Must be a hard way back. Exactly. Waz mentioned that too, like kind of, in so many words. It's like that's a tough road back.
It is.
A
tough terrain going through. Yeah, he did say that.
So we'll see.
When Wallace, Tufo's brother, who's up for the parole hearing, just to go back real quick, I really hope we get to see a little bit now that he's out. How the relationship between him and Tufo will come in together. And then just how Tufo is as a person. Because we've seen his loyalty, like he said, his blind trust, which I fell in love with so much for his lieutenant, or that he had for Waz. But now that's broken. So who is he going to turn to? Who is he going to, let out his outlet to? And even when him and Harlee were submitting the gun as evidence, I don't think he was too suggestive of her advice. It was like, she asked, could I give unsolicited advice? And he was like, sure. I think he was kind of looking for comfort or help there too, but she didn't give it to him at all. So that kind of,
because you could see it, like his body language, it didn't really change. It didn't, not at all. He didn't become at ease. It was just still like the tension. Like,
exactly.
Okay. Like, I wasn't really looking for that, So
I hope we get to see another side of him. I just really like him and Tess. And that's why I want to see more of Espada. I love the team, period, but I just want to see more of who they are as the characters rather than, like they said, just
more character development.
Following exactly whatever it was. And now Harlee tell them to do.
Listen, I kind of want to know about Loman's background, too.
I'm ready for him to go.
Well, I just want to figure him out. He's the newbie. He made a mistake in the beginning. They covered for him, but now to me, it's like you shouldn't, like everyone else is saying, you really shouldn't be questioning anything.
That's why I'm ready.
Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You could, internal affairs came, they could have got you. You did make a mistake.
Exactly.
You took a life. You could be gone. You could be in jail.
So fall in line real quick.
Yeah.
Pay your
dues.
information,
dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And like, why are you so eager to find out what's going on and so intrigued by that? It's like, Verko's in his ear, but I also think it's a little bit of his curiosity to figure out what's really going on with this team.
Yes.
That he's even digging a little bit deeper, because now we know Verko gave him the file and with the picture of Waz and Donnie, and so now he's investigating. He goes to like the shore or wherever, the Marines, to see the boat that they took the picture on and everything like that, to really verify it. Because like he brought it up to Tofu and exposed it to him. I was like, ooh, what is he gonna think? And that goes back again to the loyalty. Like, for you to automatically just kind of have Waz's back, even like, okay, it's a picture. It may not even be real.
Start talking to you, let me know what it says when it does.
Exactly. Like, what's this? What does it mean? Nothing. You know. But for Loman, it's like, no, let me investigate it. Let me see what's really going on here. And it's like he just keeps digging and digging.
Yes.
Till he's gonna find something he probably doesn't want to find.
Not at all. I think it was pretty bold too for him to say, "I know who the rat is, and it's one of us." And then you say it's the lieutenant.
It's Waz.
I was waiting for Waz to come at him, like reach across Spider-Man arms or something, Matrix into his throat. I don't know, but I was like, no. How do you? Again.
And then they were trying to. He called the meeting to come clean when they met. You know, in the freezer. I guess that's their meeting place.
Right.
You know, which is weird, but I get it. Like they said, it's no distraction, no noise, no ears, no people, no witnesses to what we have to talk about with all our family stuff. But yeah, you just like he was trying to confess, and you just want to put him on the spot and try to call him out because you think you know what's going on. But that's the thing too, like pulling the trigger too quick. You have some information, but you didn't have it all, and now you think, oh, okay, you saw him with the FBI, but you didn't hear what was going on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you still,
and even if you read in just the body language, they were pointing at each other and you seen them in their face. It wasn't anything friendly. You didn't see a handshake. You didn't see anything cordial to make you be like, okay, they may be in cahoots with each other.
They're working with each other.
There was a plethora of things that they could have been conversing about. So he just thinks what he sees again, like you said, pull the trigger a little too quick.
Up some spot, you know?
Really
luckily you didn't, but that's what could have happened.
That makes me, and I love just how the writers just give Tufo and Waz these one-liners, or just these. And to me, I try to get all philosophical with the show sometimes. But he said it was a Greek philosophy that when they go take their boats to the enemy shore, that they burn them there because I mean, they burn their own boats when they get there because there's no turning back, so they got to face their enemy. 101 was there. And I like when Wise told Loman that when they were in the freezer, like, don't burn your own boat. It's a warning. It's coming. It's coming. And I got a little scared for Loman because he can't handle them. He can't handle Wise alone, but if anybody else decides to still again be behind Wise, be behind the team, he's going to be the one on the island by himself.
He will.
And that's not a good look for him.
And I don't think he's a survivor.
He won't survive.
He won't. Like, they've helped you throughout everything. And I understand, like, you're saying some things that don't really make sense to you. And I guess he hasn't had that that relationship yet to kind of go to Waz, like, yo, look, what's up? You know, you want to try to figure it out for yourself. But that's just not the way to go.
Not at all. I don't think so.
But I'm curious to see now, because, like, how since he did call Waz out, and then, okay, it's like, well, you are talking to the FBI. Now we kind of have to tell the team a little bit more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you said, they try to give them bits and pieces, but to their detriment, because then it becomes the point that they have forced to say things sometimes and forced to tell them. And then that doesn't come off too easy, with people. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going through something with somebody and they're only giving me bits and pieces of information, and then something happens and they're forced to tell me the whole truth, I'm not comfortable with that.
Not at all.
You know
and
what I mean?
It's really adequate.
Trust is now broken, you know what I mean, or strained. So he put them in. I feel like Loman put that in put them in that position.
I think so.
But then it forced Harlee to say, "Well, it's not Waz. He's not lying. It's not him. It was me.
I'm the rat."
Yeah.
That was a bummer. I wasn't expecting that to come out. I wasn't expecting it either. I did want. Let me back up first. It is very justifiable that they are all frustrated because they're left out on the loop. They don't know what's going on. So I did think Waz was going to come and give them some type of information. Not tell who the rat was, of course, because he's going to protect Harlee with that, as always. But I did think he was going to come and say, well, what happened with the money? Now we have Bianchi coming after us. We all need to be on guard. This is why we've been trying to be secretive, or something, you know? But when she said, I'm the rat, I was like, oh, no. Because she's about to isolate herself too, and then there's so many more questions that they're going to want to know, but they can't dissolve yet. Dispel and tell them. Yes. So I think I wanted her to wait just a little longer for them telling. I still wanted to deploy off and hope that everybody would still hold on. Hope that everybody will take that and be okay with it for the moment. But I think because Loman got out of pocket, it was let me just go ahead, because she kind of felt everybody was kind of coming to pieces.
And it was like, in that moment, it was like she kind of had to. It was like, that was the save. Like, I have to, because now, Waz is kind of like hanging out to dry.
Yes.
And the team, it's kind of, they have their loyalty, but because everything is going on, a few of them, it does seem like they may be falling apart a little bit, you know? So,
and that goes back to you speaking of loyalty. I think Loman said to Wise while they were in the freezer again, that's what Loman is obsessed with. Back to this obsessed word. He's obsessed with the loyalty and the obedience of the team, which is very true. But he gives that back in return. So it's not one-sided like Stahl. Right. But then I think to me, Loman sealed his fate then. He's going to be a little outcast as well. Yeah, or definitely. They're either going to try to bring him in more. He's just not going to be happy there because of how they deal with they trace the line very closely of what they determine to be right or wrong, and not necessarily going by the books. And I think he's a by the book kind of guy. Yeah. So I think he's kind of gonna try to leave or switch departments or end up giving information to Berko.
He is really. Oh, yeah, he could do that too. Turn on him. He is very by the book. The only thing is, I don't think they would kind of let him go, even if he tried to move to another department or something like that. He would have to probably move to another city or state because he knows too much. You know what I mean? So if I just disappear. If they let him go, you know, just to another department, he could still talk. If he's still riled up, he still feels like I have something to prove or I have something to figure out. He could still talk. So they kind of have to keep him there, keep them close. Like they say, if he's going to become an enemy, keep them closer.
That's very true. Very true. I'm just all the way with Harlee, where she said she just tired. She wants to fight to win, but she's just trying to fight not to lose anymore. Yeah. So where does that line come from too? Because anytime there is a fight, there is a winner or a loser, depending on how you look at it in your situation. But how do you fight to not lose anymore? That's the game. Yeah. And especially when it comes to Bianchi, you have to try to stay 10 steps ahead of him.
That's what I was just going to say.
And we don't know much.
That's fighting smarter. When you try to fight to stop.
To not lose.
Yeah, to not lose. It's more so about fighting smarter.
Yes. So I just hope they get that edge because he's going to be the dissolving of the company, not the company, but of the team. Yeah.
That's true. But let's talk about that. Like, I just feel like Harlee's under so much pressure, though, with everything going on. You know, like, all the FBI stuff with Stahl, even though they haven't really interacted too much, but it's still, you know, there because they're still working with him. The case with Bianchi and everything. And so she walks up to her house, you know, she's walking. Yes. And she starts to sense, like, she has just that sense, like, something's off, somebody's around or following me. And then there's someone in a hoodie looking in her window, you know, and she just pulls the gun out, like, freeze, blah, blah, blah. And then Christina runs out, like, what are you doing? Because it's her friend / cousin. Right. You know, she calls her a friend. But it's like, it's still in that moment that you have that paranoia, you know? And then it's like, because later on we see she had to send Christina, she's going to send Christina to stay with her aunt because it's not safe, you know? And if I come home, I should not, that's my safe place. When you go home. That's supposed to be your safe place. Yes. So if you come there and your child is there, and whenever you go there, you feel a little uneasy or you're paranoid about who may be watching you or there, that's a problem.
I was nervous when Wad told her to keep her head on the swivel, and you know it's dark and she's walking by her and herself, and they keep throwing these close-up shots, and I thought somebody was going to run up on her or snatch her.
Close-ups like that. And like you said, like on the swivel, you know, swivel, so keep looking around. So I was like, so turn around, Harlee, turn around. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it wasn't that they got us, you know? Yes. And that's how they create that surprise. Like, always. They set something else up for you to make your mind think, okay, someone's about to jump out at it, blah, blah, blah. And then they pop up with that, and then you're like, whoa, okay.
And I thought, what's the matter, Christina? Or let me say Harlee first, because she was trying to apologize for pulling out her gun, trying to protect her and her daughter in her home. Right. And the cousin looked suspicious. So, and she was doing suspicious activity. You're looking in somebody's window. It's Tom. We don't know what you're doing.
It's nighttime.
Yes. So I was mad for Harlee for apologizing to Christina for defending and protecting them in their home. But then I see Harlee said, you know, she was also paranoid because of Bianchi and everything that he's going on. And then also too, Christina in these lies, and I know it goes both ways between her and her mother, but she was like, that's my friend. And I'm glad Harlee called her out. No, you don't think that I know Miguel doesn't have a niece named Monica? That's who that was.
Exactly.
So then she was like,
oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So I'm glad she was able to rein herself in and not let her emotion, her fear, and just what's going on with work bring that into her house too. She took a minute to calm down. But yeah, I was like, no, don't apologize. You were trying to protect her and yourself in your home at all costs. So no, don't apologize. But
and that wasn't in that even though she's Harlee is paranoid and suspicious of things, it's still like that was very suspicious of that girl to do that. You know what I mean? So she, like you said, she had every right. Like, and then she is a police officer, so that's just second nature to her to do that. You know what I mean? Like if she wasn't, maybe she would have yelled like, "Hey, who is that? What are you doing? You know what I mean? But like, she's a police officer. I have a piece. I'm going to use it.
Exactly.
I'm going to protect me and mine at all costs. All costs. You know? So.
And we already know Harlee's that deal, so I'm scared.
At all costs. Yes. I would not mess with Harlee.
Not at all.
I think so. Okay, we've kind of been all over the place with predictions already.
Okay, get into them for real.
I think let's tap into them for real. So, we got the lights.
Yeah, we did. Thanks.
Predictions. Alrighty, you want to go first?
I'm all over with mine too.
Okay.
So since we just finished with Harlee and Christina, I want to say Harlee's going to try to send her off to her aunt, but I think Christina's going to go to her grandmother's house and stay with the grandmother and Monica. Ooh. Yeah, and I don't think Harlee's going to like that too much. I don't think she's going to know she's in town, but I think that's going to bring back the relationship between Stahl for knowing, because you know we see that he's still following Harlee, trying to figure out what she's doing. So I think that's going to be one ploy of a prediction that'll come up maybe in a few episodes, especially because Christina's trying to still keep in touch with Miguel and find out everything about him. And then my second prediction, when I find it, I thought I'm waiting for Ethan to come back. The co-worker from the firm that Caroline was
sleeping with.
Yes. Because I think once they find out how Bianchi came after Linda, like there's no one else you can go to after Linda.
Right.
You can go to Christina, maybe. Yeah, Christina. Yeah, but Linda after that, that's it. So I think that they're going to try to pin everything on Ethan. Oh, right. So that can kind of take off the heat from them, take it off from Bianchi from going after their family. Because right now, Caroline, sorry she died, but she wasn't really anyone to the team specifically, you know. But Linda or Christina, someone of those type matters to Waz and Harlee. That's it. I think that's where they will draw the line definitely, and they'll do whatever Bianchi tells them to do. Yeah. So I think they may end up trying to pin that on Ethan, and that's how Vincent will get out. Yeah. And Julia somehow will be entangled in it all, of course. But those are my two predictions for the next few episodes. How about you?
So mine is with a little crazy weirdo Stahl.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so with him leaving the cocaine there for Caddy, I think Caddy is gonna take it, and that's gonna open the door for possibly him kind of stringing out. We don't really know too much about his background of a character, but we do know he's a drug addict. Right. And so he's going to go back out of control, which I think will make him vulnerable. And that's how Stahl is going to then slide in there. And I think he will end up getting some information out of Caddy.
I can see that, definitely.
I think he's going to get some information from him. And I think Tufo is going to start to fold. I don't think he's going to talk, but I think he's going to possibly start to kind of question things even a little bit more and start to pull back.
I can definitely agree with you on that one.
I feel like he may still be loyal to the point of everything that happened before. I won't tell on you, but I just can't be a part of this anymore. You know what I mean? But then I don't know what that would do with his character, because then he wouldn't really have a place. Very true. I do kind of feel like he's going to start to back up.
And that's a good point. And then leading off of what your prediction is, that could cause him and Lofu. I'm trying to combine the two of them together. It's late. I apologize. Him and Loman to team up together to figure out what's really going on in the department and what else the department has been through before they started and even now. So good prediction.
Yeah, they actually could team up. Well, we will have to wait and see for next week and the week after the week after.
That's why I just love this show. And these writers do such an amazing job. I know I say it's probably every episode, every after show, but they do such a good job just dangling that rope and leaving us on suspense for a whole good week.
I really can't wait until next week. If you guys saw the clip for next week, it looks juicy too. They're in like a talk show studio.
Oh yes, shooting up they really are. Exactly.
I don't know what it's about, but can't wait to find out.
And let me just say thank you to there's a YouTuber by the name of Drown Deep, and he keeps us correct all the time if you look in the comments, because sometimes we call tofu, and he's like, no, it's tufo, and I'm like, keep reminding us. So thank you, Drown Deep, for that. We always appreciate it, and we laugh at ourselves actually. So hopefully we didn't do it this episode.
Oh, I was butchering Nava's name at first.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I couldn't get it out. I was like, I don't, whatever.
Yeah,
James,
him.
That's his first name.
We're on a first name basis.
Yeah, we're on a first name basis now. Yeah, that's my boo anyway. Sorry, Harlee. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight, and make sure you catch us next week. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33.
And you can follow me all places social at Taquiala_I am.
Bye. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.